Rocky Raccoon fell back in his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Yes, it is Eric, the Big E Arnold, here in Sports Barn, Friday, July 10th. The raccoon is no more. Eric got on the board, and that's the end of the raccoon. You're here, the topic is going to be the Nationals, finishing up our MLB series, thank God. Thought I'd tell you, had more than a couple people ask about what happened to the raccoon. Well, he met his end. Oh, now I don't know, I'm going to say that. Look, this is what happened to the raccoon. Trap set, finally caught him, goes in trap, trap goes shut, we have raccoon. Here, I'll show you. Oh, come here. Trap. No raccoon in trap, but that was the trap. So, supposed to be a humane trap. As far as I can tell, it's a pretty humane trap. It doesn't injure the animal in any way, it just catches them, that's all. So we took him to Pennsylvania Game Land, which the state of Pennsylvania informed me, the Game Commission said, sure, you can let him out there. Like, okay, and out he went. So he now has a new home in Pennsylvania Game Land. So he can have at it and do whatever happy little raccoons do on Pennsylvania Game Land. This is why I hesitate even telling the story, just because I know there are two schools of thought out there. How dare you release that raccoon? It's either release him or kill him. And I just couldn't bring myself to give him the Joe Pesci behind the ear. Boom! Just couldn't do it. So we took him out, and he's free to do whatever. Those game lands are pretty isolated. You know what I mean? In other words, it's possible right now he's knocking over John Doe's trash can and somebody else's headache, but I don't think so. He's out there in an isolated area where he's going to have to forage for himself, eating nuts and burrows and whatever the hell else raccoons eat when they're not knocking over trash cans. So that's what happened to the raccoon. Won't see him no more. So Eric, probably if you had the raccoon, he was the underdog. He probably covered the spread. I ultimately won the game, but he covered the spread. So, into the raccoon. So what else has happened since our last video here? Looks like college football is moving backwards, not forwards. The Ivy League is giving it up altogether. Normally I would say who cares, but believe it or not, I have a number of trends and angles that I feel pretty comfortable are going to work in the FCS as well as the FBS. That they hang lines now on all these FCS games. When Delaware State plays Howard, there's a line on that game, just like college basketball. So I was kind of looking forward to reaching down into the FCS this year and making some picks. And at least one league is just giving it up altogether, the Ivy League. So, they don't need to play. They have huge endowment. I had to confirm what that word means. It's wealthy alumni giving huge sums of money to the schools because, if you graduated from an Ivy League school, I think almost by definition, then that means you're rich for the rest of your life. So those people give money back to the school. They don't need sports. They can go ahead and just cancel the season. Whereas these other schools, they kind of do need sports. So anyway, they canceled all their non-conference schedules, basically. All the power conferences have just now shrunk back into themselves and are just going to play themselves. At this point, if anybody plays anything, I'll be happy. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. Somebody play some sports somewhere, someplace, somehow. A sport I know something about. I guess I can watch European soccer or football. I just don't know that much about it. I just don't know. So, what else? I saw, the sports appear to me that the players are just dangerous activities. We're nervous. Oh my goodness, we have to be tested over and over and over again to make sure we're negative. And I don't know. I'm not buying this argument from these athletes. I just am not. I talked to a friend of mine, is a subscriber. I would wager this guy probably is on the front lines of everything, if you will. He is the man that holds the most dangerous jobs in the United States. He's a respiratory therapist. That means he's in those ICUs with the COVID patients, some of them dying. He's right there, right there. Yeah, he's got his hazmat suit on, but still, he is right there dealing with these poor people. And then when he doesn't do that, he bartends. There's a chart out there produced by the Texas Health Department, and it ranks all your activities that you can do. It even has playing basketball and playing football on there. One thing I thought was interesting that's not on there is playing baseball, which, right there, as I said, baseball is becoming irrelevant. They didn't even make the Texas Health Department chart. Anyway, of all the activities you could do, run, socialize with friends at a barbecue, get on public transportation, whatever. The most dangerous thing in the whole world you could do is go to a bar, apparently, according to the Texas Health Department. So I asked my friend, the respiratory therapist / bartender, I said, well, look, you must get tested. How many? Do they test you every day in the hospital, once a week? He said he has never been tested. They don't test them. I found that unbelievable. So it hasn't been tested. I know damn well the bar he works at hasn't tested him. So it's like these baseball players are whining because they can't get their test results back. We out here in the world, we're not even getting tested. So, okay, terrible. You didn't get your test back on time. Terrible. Test results are late. Ooh, terrible. So, no sympathy, guys. Baseball players, football players. I have no sympathy. One of the arguments that keeps getting thrown around here as to why these sports leagues are so terrified of playing, and I've seen this brought up again and again, is, well, what if somebody gets sick? What if somebody dies? We're going to feel awful. We'll be morally reprehensible. I'm not getting that argument, How do you know that, let's say someone does get sick, God forbid dies, how do you know that kid wasn't going to get sick somewhere else? How do you know he gets sick playing football? Really, when you think about it, if the kid's not in camp playing football, and you say, all right, well, it's just too dangerous, we're not going to play, where do you think he's going to go? That's all that extra time. He's going to go to parties. He's going to go to bars, the most dangerous place possible, according to the Texas Health Department. So maybe he should play football. Keep them out of the bars. Therefore, it would be safer for them, it seems to me. But, has been brought up to me many times. I'm a radical. I'm crazy. I'm out there. So, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of down with here. Just crossing my fingers that sports actually happen. Anyway, let's finish it up. The last but not least, the Washington Nationals, defending champions, beating the Houston Astros last year in a very exciting World Series. Probably one of the greatest upsets in baseball history. They had only won 93 games, as opposed to the Astros. They were in the hundreds, and they upset the Astros in the series, winning 4-3. Good for them. I don't really have any animus towards the Nationals. One point that I wanted to make in the Phillies video, and I simply forgot. Last year, before the season started, just after the Phillies had signed Bryce Harper to that ridiculously huge contract, my buddy that I just mentioned there, part-time bartender, asked me, well, who's going to win the NL East? And I said the Nationals, which I think was an upset. You know, it would have, your common answers would have been the Braves or the Mets, and I said the Nationals, just thinking that losing Bryce Harper was a positive. I just think Bryce Harper is a vastly overrated player that weighs down a locker room. And I don't think it's an accident that by them subtracting Harper, suddenly, shazam, they have their first and only success in the postseason. Now, what does that mean for the Nationals this year? Probably nothing. It's more of a dig against the Phillies that have Harper. But anyway, that aside. So what do the Nationals have now? Well, you know, they've had pretty good history. They still have that top line pitching. Your Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. That's pretty good. The bullpen, they've added a piece or two there. Their bullpen's not that good. They added, I think, Will Harris. That's a good piece. They lost Rendon. I don't think they have a replacement for Rendon. My thinking here with the Nationals is you came out of nowhere with the miracle win. I don't think this is a team with staying power, especially in this short season. One of their key glue guys is already tapped out and said, I ain't playing. Zimmerman, he is probably Mr. National, if you will. He's been there since the beginning, I think, practically, since this team moved from Montreal. I'd have to do the math on that, but he's been there a long time. And he's not playing. To me, that's just a mindset, an indication of the mindset that, hey, we got ours. We're the champions. 60 games, you know. Are we really going to bust ass? Yeah, we'll go out and be professionals and do our thing. But I don't think this team has the hunger that some of the other teams are going to have. So we're going to fade the Nationals. Vegas has them at 34 wins. That would equate to 92 over a 162 game season. That's about what they did last year. Again, they have some real nice young players, but I just think don't think the hunger is going to be there. I think when push comes to shove, there's going to be a number of other teams that are going to want it more. So that's what we have here. We're all done with the MLB, so now we're going to have to come up with a summary show, and that will be the key show, I guess, if you will, where we try to put it all together and figure out which teams are going to make the playoffs, which teams we really want to look out for, which teams suck, and we feel comfortable betting against them, and maybe who's going to win it all. You know, I think the key thing is we want to know right off the bat who's going to jump out to the quick lead, who's going to suck, who are we betting on? That's what we're going to try to figure out. So that'll be next. I don't know. I just don't know if we got anything else here for you. I think that's it. So, what? 2 weeks to go till sports actually start? 2 weeks? Man, it seems like a lifetime. So, 30 subscribers. Let's see if we can get it back going again. See if we can get things rolling again. It just baby steps. It looks like baby steps is all we're going to be able to expect here in the world for the next several months. Baby steps, and maybe if we all live long enough, we'll get back to what we would have called normal in 2019. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, and we'll see you again.